Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do a really in-depth comparison video of the Chanel Classic Flap with the Lady Dior. I know this was a highly requested video and I'm happy to be able to do this after owning both of these for a little over a year now. So let's be clear, this Classic Flap is in the medium size and this Lady Dior is in the small size. So medium Chanel versus small Dior. But I do think that these two sizes are very comparable, which you'll see later in the video. So in this video, I'm going to be really detailed. We're going to talk about the design of each bag, then we're going to compare the sizes of each bag, then we're going to compare the weights, and then we're going to talk about the price differences. I'm also going to show you what fits inside each bag, and then I'll talk about wear and tear. As I said, I've owned both of these for a little over a year now, and I purchased them around the same time, so I think it's fair that I can share my experience with wear and tear now. And then we'll talk about the availability of each bag, and then we'll close out the video. So hope this will be helpful. All right, so design. For starters, let's take a close look at the medium classic flap here. I think most of us are very familiar with this bag. It's classic, it's iconic, it's been around for a long time. However, let's take a close look. So this one is in the caviar leather, and it's the beige clear color with the bright yellow gold hardware. Okay, but generally speaking, when we're talking classic flaps, we're talking quilting, stitching, grommets, chain strap interwoven with leather, back pocket, flat sturdy base, CC turn lock. Open it up, you see the double flap, this one right here. It's actually like a bag within a bag concept. If you take a really closer look, you can see that the leathers are stitched together here. So this piece is inside another piece. And then there is this space in between the two flaps, which personally I don't use because I don't want to stretch out that area and have the stitches or the threading here pop, but I know some people do utilize that. Here we've got a pretty mysterious zippered compartment, and I say that it's mysterious because it actually only goes upward about an inch or so, and allegedly Coco Chanel hid her love letters in here from Boy Chappelle. Who knows if that's true, but this does not actually open up downward, so it's just this tiny little pocket up here, and I think most of us Chanel owners do not use this zippered compartment. Then you open up the flap and you have the main compartment inside here, and it's a pretty simple design. You've got this one little lipstick compartment, which again I don't really utilize very much. You'd have to have a pretty thin lipstick case to fit in there, and then you've got these two little pockets here that you could use for cards, cash, anything thin. And this is the main compartment, and then there's another slip pocket here, and I'll show you in a bit how I use that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 pockets on this medium classic flap. There is also this snap button closure, which I don't think any of us really use because it's a bit cumbersome to press it down. And by the way, you have to undo it every time you want to access your belongings, so it's not very useful to snap it each time, but it is there. So that is what it looks like. And this is how I usually close it up. Here's what it looks like from the side. It has this sort of indent. Okay. All right. Now let's look at this small Lady Dior. Mine is from the ABC collection, which means that it comes with a little bit of different detail. I'll show you on the strap. It comes with 3 extra charms. Now, Christian Dior was a big fan of charms. He was quite superstitious. So these charms here spell out D-I-O-R, Dior. And then the charms here, for the ABC collection, you get to choose up to 3 complimentary with the purchase of your bag, and these are the 3 that I happened to choose when I purchased it. Okay, so this one here, as you can see, is more like a square shape, and then this one too has quilting, but it's a different type of quilting, right? By the way, this one is in the matte lambskin, so we are comparing apples to oranges to a certain extent. Matte lambskin, and this is the caviar. In general, lambskin will be lighter than caviar, but again, because we're comparing apples to oranges, different design, we'll have to see the weights of each bag in a little bit. So this is what it looks like from the side, front, back. Bottom also has a sturdy flat base. This also has feet. They're a little bit pointy and kind of small, so they're not as stable as I would like. However, they will protect the leather on the bottom of the bag. So here you've got these rings attached. And then you've got the click-clacky handles, which are supposed to spell out Christian Dior's initials, C and D, which I think is kind of clever. It has a flap opening. Again, this is the small size. And this is what it looks like on the inside. Very simple. One main compartment with a zippered compartment on the side. So 2 compartments on the small Lady Dior compared to 6 pockets or compartments on the medium classic flap. Okay. There you go. And here is the strap. It is removable. It's also adjustable. You could take the charms off as well if you don't want them there. It's just there for extra embellishment. And because this strap is about 1 inch or more in thickness, it is going to be quite comfortable if you decide to wear this on your shoulder or crossbody, or you can just use this as a handheld. Okay, now let's talk about size. It's very easy to look up the size dimensions of each bag. So instead of giving you measurements with a measuring tape, I wanted to do side-by-side size comparisons. I think sometimes that is more helpful just to see how they are in relation to one another. So here are the 2 bags side by side. You can see here that the small Lady Dior is definitely taller, at least by 1 inch or so, than the medium classic flap. And then in terms of the depth or thickness from side to side, I would say they're roughly the same, with maybe the Lady Dior being a hair thicker, again from side to side. In terms of length, you can see that the Chanel Classic Flap is roughly about 1.5 inches or maybe 1.75 inches longer in length. Now keep in mind, if you are going to wear this bag on your shoulder, these straps here, or these handles I should say, on the Lady Dior do flop down or hang around. If you clip the straps on each side, these will sit up. I've learned that. So if you clip them on the outside of the rings, they will sit up instead of wobbling around, which is nice. They'll sit up. Now this will make it a longer or taller bag. So something to factor in terms of comfort and style and how it looks on your body, because that means it will look like it's higher up on your body versus a shorter bag like the Classic Flap. Okay, let's start by weighing the medium Classic Flap first. And it looks like it's coming in at 1 pound, 6.1 ounces. And I always do this twice just to be sure. Again, 1 pound, 6.1 ounces. This is the weight of the medium Classic Flap. And just to confirm, it's completely empty. Next, let's weigh the small size Lady Dior without the strap. That's coming in at 1 pound, 5 ounces. One more time. 1 pound, 5 ounces. Now let's add the strap, including the 3 charms. So the total weight of the bag. And let's see what it comes out. So now the small Lady Dior with strap inside is coming out to 1 pound, 9.8 ounces. So with strap, the Lady Dior is heavier than the Chanel Classic Flap medium size. Okay, now let's quickly talk about prices. So currently, the medium Classic Flap retails for $8,800 US, and the small ABC Lady Dior currently retails for $5,300. This is all US prices. So that means that there is a $3,500 difference between the 2 bags today. In terms of the price difference, I do want to make a note on one thing here. So as I said, this one here is $8,800 and this one here is $5,300 current retail prices. That again is a $3,500 price difference. However, if you look at the prices from 2021, the classic flap was $6,800 and the small Lady Dior was $4,700, which was a $2,100 price difference between the two. So that means that not only have the prices both gone up, but the price difference has also widened. Okay, so last year this was a $2,100 price difference between the two. This year there's a $3,500 price difference between the two, which that means that Chanel's prices have increased more rapidly than Dior prices. And I think we already knew that, but I wanted to point that out. Okay, now let's see what fits inside each bag. So I'll start with the classic flap, and we'll go straight to the main compartment here, and we'll start putting some things in. Here's the mini O case. Here is just a pack of Kleenex tissues. Here is my phone case. Since I'm filming with my phone, I usually put my phone in the outer pocket here. Here I've got my Hermes Bastia coin purse. Here I've got my Louis Vuitton key pouch. Here I've got a card holder. I could slip this in right here, right? Here, my favorite lip balm from Hermes. It's colorless and very moisturizing. Just slip that in there. And I need to get my sunglasses in. So here's just a soft pouch for my Gucci sunglasses. And this is pretty packed. Because of the double flap design, it's not going to fit as much as you would think. I think everyone says that. It's a little bit snug, but I don't usually pack a lot on a day-to-day basis, so this is plenty. This is more than I usually carry. And there you have it. It closes up pretty easily. There's no protruding or bulging, although now it feels quite compact and quite heavy. Okay, so let's try to put all these same items inside the Lady Dior. Actually, before I do that, let me also quickly show you, because I know a lot of times many of you want to see if a bag fits a mini pochette, because the mini pochette is such a popular SLG item. So I do have mine here in the dummy bin, and I will show you that it fits quite comfortably. It's just a little bit thicker than the mini O case, so it does fit comfortably, and you could also fit both if you really wanted to. So there you have it. Okay, let's do this again with the small Lady Dior. Here's the inside, and I'll start again with the mini O case. And I'll plop in my pack of tissues. I will put my phone in. There's really no separate compartment for the phone. And let's get my card holder and my keys. So as you can see, I put it that way. And my Bastia. My lipstick or lip balm. Just like that on top. And then my sunglasses would fit right on top. So as you can see, and then we need a little bit of space to close the flap up. So that is pretty packed, pretty full. And it has basically the same interior capacity as the medium classic flap. I suppose in this one I could fit just a tiny bit more because there's a little bit of wiggle room with this flap here. So there's probably maybe a centimeter or two in terms of the top space that I could put something thin. But I'd say this is 90 to 95% full. Okay, so let me take these out, and then just as I did with the classic flap, I'll quickly show you how the mini pochette fits. The mini pochette actually fits fine in both of these bags. So that will be good news for those of you who take your mini pochette with you everywhere you go. Here it is again, and there you go. Quite a good fit. Now on to wear and tear. So I've had this classic flap for a little over a year now, and as far as I can see, there is no noticeable wear or tear of any kind. Even on the hardware, I don't see any scratches. There are some fingerprints and smudges, but I can polish those off with a light cloth, and it looks fine. The corners look great. There's no color transfer. I did mention in a recent video that I noticed when I purchased this bag and I brought it home that the folded leather bits here on the chain don't fold over all the way, so you can see the exposed glue a little bit. This is not wear and tear, this is a quality issue. But because I was really happy with the rest of the bag, I decided to keep it, and you guys know my saga. This would have been not my first classic flap from the boutique. It would have been my third, and I figured third time's a charm, and I kept this one. But yeah, no wear or tear that I can speak of. This one here, the Lady Dior, also have had for a little over a year. In fact, I purchased both of these in the month of April 2021, so they're pretty much the same age. And in terms of the leather and the quilting and the stitching, no issues, no wear or tear. I don't see any color transfer on this as well. The feet are not marked up or scratched up, probably because I haven't really put this down on a hard surface. However, there is some wear on the hardware. Now, I was pretty surprised, I'll be frank, by how quickly the hardware on the Dior scratched up. Now, I'm the kind of person that generally I try to peel off the stickers as soon as possible because it just feels so nice when I do that. I'm a little bit impatient. So I did peel these off right away, the same with the Chanel. And yeah, there's some fingerprints, which again, that's not considered wear because I can polish those off. But if you look closely, there are scratches for sure, especially on the Dior charm. You can see there are quite a few scratches for a one-year-old bag, and that is because the letters will move around and scratch each other. That's just kind of how it is. And I guess the coating is not thick enough to protect the hardware from getting scratches. There's also another spot back here. I don't know if you can see that. So a bunch of scratches on this side here, and I don't know if that is from the strap or from rubbing against something else. I'm not sure. I don't see it so much here. But now this doesn't really bother me so much because I feel like when you buy a bag, no matter what kind of bag it is, it's meant to be used and enjoyed. But like I said, I was surprised by how quickly it scratched compared to the Chanel hardware. Yeah, but that's it. I would say for being a little over a year old, each of these bags are holding up quite well, aside from the hardware here. And here's the strap on the Dior. I don't see any wear or tear on the strap whatsoever. And even on the hardware, maybe some hairline scratches, but very, very unnoticeable. I have other issues with this bag. I did a whole video talking about how it's one of the most, if not the most annoying bag I own, but I still love how it looks and feels and the jingle jangle of it. So it's always kind of like weighing pros and cons, right? And then of course, this is not a perfect bag either, the classic flap, but I love them enough to own them. So whatever that means. Okay, now let's talk about availability. If you've got your eyes on either one of these bags or both of them, I will say that it's probably going to be a lot easier for you to get your hands on a Lady Dior simply because there's more inventory at the Dior boutiques, and also let's keep in mind that Dior makes their inventory available online. So if you go onto their website, you will see so many different Lady Diors of all different sizes and all different colors and all different hardware available. You can just click, place in cart, and order it, and it gets shipped to your home. That is not the case for Chanel. Not only do they have much lower inventory, some of you I know also don't live near a Chanel boutique, so you don't really have many options because Chanel doesn't sell their bags online. And by the way, I did do a video recently. Chanel announced that they're going to put a quota in place as of this year, limiting customers from purchasing certain handbags. So if you missed that video, I'll link up above and you guys can check it out. So I do think that in terms of availability, this one here, the Lady Dior, is going to be significantly easier to get your hands on. I would really love to know what your thoughts are on each of these bags and whether you own them or you've got your eye on one of them and which one you prefer, whether it be because of design or price or because of usability, how practical one is over the other, because of weight, whatever the case might be. I'd be really interested to know your thoughts. Please leave me a comment down below. And I do hope this video was helpful. And if it was, please give it a thumbs up and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.